Alrighty guys, this is Alan recording another comprehensive Magic the Gathering Arena draft video. Strixhaven's about to arrive on Friday, and I know that I stated that that I was pretty much done with drafts, but I'm kind of bored here and I want to spend some of my extra gems, and given that I don't have enough to do another Premier Draft Kaldheim, and Kaldheim is going to end in a couple of days and I've done enough of them already, don't mind just revisiting Throne of Eldraine to recall this draft set. I remember drafting red-blue a lot, and I just did a recent video drafting the red-blue control deck. But there's definitely some archetypes I haven't really drafted yet in this set. So let's give this a spin and see where we end up. And pack 1, pick 1, Throne of Eldraine. Pretty nice rare. Witch's Vengeance can be pretty nice in a control deck. At the very least, it's a 1-for-1. But against other tribal decks like Knights, it can become a complete blowout. Fairy Vandal's also great, especially in the blue-red draw your second cards matter archetype, which I always end up drafting for some reason. It's also just probably the best card in this pack overall, and I say better than Witch's Vengeance since it can just become a threat that just grows and spirals out of hand. I mean, I'll still play this in outside of a blue-red deck, but it's going to be at its best in the blue-red deck. Still a great card in blue-green or even like blue-white if you can pick up cards like Opt and Witching Well. So maybe it's still my first pick. And then looking at commons, I think I like Scorching Dragonfire over Charm Sleep and Witching Well. So I really think it's just between these three cards, Witch's Vengeance, Fairy Vandal, and the Scorching Dragonfire. I think Fairy Vandal has a lot more upside than Scorching Dragonfire, and definitely has a lot more upside than Witch's Vengeance. Like, Witch's Vengeance can be a complete blowout against like a deck that's more focused on tribal themes, such as Knights in this set, but overall, it's mostly just going to end up as a fine 1-for-1 removal spell, which is almost basically like a Scorching Dragonfire. So, I think I'll take the Fairy Vandal here over everything else, and then maybe speculate on blue. Here in this pack, we see some pretty interesting cards. Could go blue-white with the Shepherd of the Flock, and there's some neat combos we can pull off in the blue-white artifacts enchantments deck. If I want to pivot out and move towards black-white Knights, Resolute Rider is really powerful. There's also Lucky Clover, and if we can pick up this early, we can build a nice controlling blue adventures deck. And given that we're in blue, maybe we can pick up some Merfolk Secret Keepers, and if we're able to mill them for 8 every single time, it's quite good and powerful. And at common, there's a Flutterfox as a nice evasive threat, best in the blue-white artifacts enchantments deck. So pretty interesting options here. Could just take the Lucky Clover because it can just go into any deck that's trying to enable the adventure synergies. It's not going to be at its best in a white aggressive deck that's looking to play adventures, since usually those decks are trying to play creatures out instead of trying to enable adventure value. So we could end up in a much more controlling deck where Lucky Clover will still be amazing. So yeah, I don't mind just taking Lucky Clover here. Otherwise, maybe I would take Flutterfox or Shepherd of the Flock, or maybe speculate on Resolute Rider and abandon blue, since I haven't drafted Black-White Knights deck yet in this set. So I think I'll take the Lucky Clover. And wow, Lucky Clover Beanstalk Giant is pretty insane. We could also force the blue-red deck again and take Red Cap Melee. I mean, this being able to fetch out 2 lands is quite nice. So don't mind just taking the Beanstalk Giant here, and seeing it pretty late is a good sign. I also think Fairy Vandal is pretty good in the blue-green deck as well, especially if you pick up cards like Occame Adversary or Keeper of Fables, which can enable this to draw. Fierce Witchstalker, considered the best blue-green common of the set, is still quite good. But I think the best card overall in this pack is just Beanstalk Giant, and with the Lucky Clover, it's kind of fun. So let's just take the Beanstalk Giant here. Although now, this is a bit of a different pack. I guess the best card in this pack is Sir Alan. There's a Steelclaw Lance. These other green cards are fine, but we can always pick them up later. Like Garenbrig Paladin is pretty strong, but I don't want to... I mean, I can still take it here, given that we just took a Beanstalk Giant. Like, is there a chance we still end up in some sort of blue-white Flyers artifact enchantments deck with Sir Alan? Maybe. But I don't think we'll be playing cards like Lucky Clover and Beanstalk Giant in it, so we might have to just abandon this. So I might be more inclined to just take a Garenbrig Paladin as a nice 5-drop. And it plays pretty nicely with the Beanstalk Giant since if we're able to search up lands, and this can help me ramp and fix my mana, we can easily enable Adamant for the Garen Break Paladin, so I think I'm down to just take the Paladin here over Sir Alan, but Sir Alan and Steel Claw Lance are undoubtedly the best cards in this pack, so let's take a Garen Break Paladin this time. Did we get rewarded? I mean, we do see some decent cards here too. Another Paladin could be fine. There's a Tome Raider, which does play well with the Fairy Vandal. So that's a nice synergy. You can go turn 2 Fairy Vandal into turn 3 Tome Raider and just curve out. Overall, this pack doesn't really have anything that stands out too much. They're more like just synergy cards, picks that we can make to improve our deck's synergy. If we want a good ground blocker, we could take a Sporecap Spider. If we want to combo a bit with Fairy Vandal, we don't mind just taking a Tome Raider as a fine evasive threat. It does move us into blue-green a little bit more, but it's not like I'm missing out on much. Like maybe if I was in black-green, the Forever Young could be fine. Giant Opportunity I don't think is very amazing. So I guess I'll just take Tome Raider to go along with our Fairy Vandal. I haven't drafted blue-green yet too much, and I think it's a fun archetype. Alright, I guess the pick here is just Shine Chaser, or we do end up in the blue-red deck and take Thrill of Possibility. Lots of interesting options. I guess we're kind of set up for a blue-red deck if we still end up there and it's wide open. So I guess I'll take a Thrill of Possibilities. And Lucky Clover can be pretty nice with the Merchant of the Veil. I also saw some white cards, but I think Fairy Vandal and Tome Raider fits best in blue-red. So hopefully we don't end up drafting this again, but we'll see. None of these cards are really exciting. They're all pretty bad. I think Bloodhaze Wolverine is quite bad even in the blue-red deck, to be honest. To be honest, I'd rather have a Quarter Modder over this card. I guess we still could end up in blue-white, and Fairy Guy Mutter can maybe go off a couple of times with a Lucky Clover. Don't think I need to prioritize Felded Pheasant, so I guess I'll take a Lucky Clover, make Fairy Guy Mutter here. And yeah, this pack is also like whatever. Maybe we just take Insatiable Appetite as a fine pump trick, and just move on with our lives. Okay, Oft I don't mind, since it can enable the Fairy Vandal, and it doesn't make us lean either green-blue mid-range or red-blue control, which I'm totally fine with. And Oft plays pretty nice for the Fairy Vandal, so this is good. I guess white is also open to Flutterfox, but I don't know if the white ship has sailed already, so we'll see. But blue does seem particularly open. Hopefully the next pack can give us a really nice direction to be in. I'm hoping I'm in blue-green since I took a Beanstalk Giant. Oh, although there's a Lochmere Serpent, which we can still end up splashing in the blue-green deck, to be honest. One of the biggest bombs in the set. Bacon into a Pie is also amazing. Edgewall Innkeeper is amazing. Wow, this whole pack is really great. There's also Merfolk Secret Keeper. Don't think we have enough adventures yet for the Edgewall Innkeeper. So I think I'm speculating on the Lochmere Serpent. We can still end up in straight up blue-black, or we can splash for it and this is just a powerful bomb. I guess with a Beanstalk Giant it's pretty easy, just tossing a couple of swamps in the deck, and that's quite good. So yeah, Lochmere Serpent's a bomb. Maybe we just end up splashing this in blue-green. And the blue cards aren't looking amazing. The green cards don't look amazing either. Could just take a Curious Pair as a random blocker. There's a Searing Barrage for red Adamant. Like, blue-green can be a little bit controlling, so maybe don't mind a Curious Pair as a way to generate food and block, or just take a Queen of Ice, which can help the control game plan as well as a fine 3-drop. I mean, there's really nothing great in the pack. The best card is probably just Searing Barrage, but I don't think I can really splash a Lochmere Serpent because I need the fixing in green. So maybe I just take the Queen of Ice, or just take the Curious Pair to have our first copy. Which I'm down. It still makes a food, decent blocker on turn 2, and Once in Future also pretty late. I love this card. There's also a Witching Well, but Once in Future is a really nice green uncommon, being able to get back stuff from the graveyard, which is great and fantastic. Witching Wells also plays nice with the Fairy Vandal. It's 5 mana, scry 2, draw 2, but the Once in Future is quite good. Just a nice ability. Wow, Epic Downfall late. I guess if we're going to be splashing black, I might as well splash at Epic Downfall in the same deck, because this is one of the premium removal spells in the set. So yeah, I guess we're just going to be green, blue, splashing black. I'm totally down. And I think that's a pretty fun archetype, Soul Tie, essentially. Which I think is the best color. Wow, even Bacon to a Pie. Do we just go black-green, straight up black-green now, I guess? Splashing blue? It could be possible since now the blues just seems cut and dry. Like, we're seeing a pretty, like, late bake into a pie here. So maybe we just splash the Lochmere Serpent in a straight black-green deck since this is pretty late. And I'll take a Cauldron Familiar since there could be a food theme in the deck. And Wicked Guardian can be a nice 4-drop since it can be a nice 2-for-1 if we have some higher toughness creatures to ping. And I guess I'll take a Foreboding Fruit. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna end up straight black-green splashing blue. So I guess that's the archetype we're supposed to be in. In that case, yeah, there's nothing great in this pack. Don't mind Giant Skewer as a fine way to generate foods. And then, yep. Just splash the Lochmere Serpent, so hopefully next pack we can pick up some Rosethorn Acolytes. Maybe the Reaper of Nights to go along with the Lucky Clovers, but the deck definitely could use some work here. And Trail of Crumbs is great. Great payoff for making foods. And an enabler, it also makes the food itself, which is great. Nice value card. I think pack 1 pick 1 pretty interesting. Sir Alan, Animating Fairy, and Trail of Crumbs. But here is just an easy Trail of Crumbs. And I'll take a Merrill Leaf Rider as a fine 2-drop. There's also Giant Opportunity, but I don't think it's that great, so let's just take a Merrill Leaf Rider. And I'll take an Al Muscle as a great fight spell. Although we're running kind of creature light in this type of deck, but I still think it's over everything else here. And hopefully we can fill up the 3-drop department. Ooh, Reaper at Night plus the Lucky Clover is kind of amazing. Same with the Toonvale Treefolk. Given that we are lacking creatures, and we don't have much creatures to put maybe counters onto, I might just be more inclined to just take the Reaper of Night here. Because if we're able to Lucky Clover them and make them discard 4, it's essentially just game over. Like, we're more focused on Green Adamant, though, and Toonvale Treefolk is nice. But I think the Reaper has a lot more upside with the Lucky Clover. But this can also just put 4 counters onto something. It's actually pretty interesting here to note, like, we don't have much ramp. So maybe I should just take the Toonvale Treefolk and stay safe, because at least I can maybe cast this for 6 mana, which is fine. And maybe I just need ways to put counters on the creatures so I survive. Even though I don't have a ton, it can still be okay. But Reaper and Lucky Clover is fun, so I think I'll take the Reaper here. But Toonvale is also nice. Wow, finally Rosethorn Acolytes. Jesus. This is definitely a premium card I needed in the deck. Take a Gingerbread Cabin. And I'll take a second Kiri's Pair, so I can hopefully stay alive. Could play Garenbray Carver as a fine pump trick, also decent to Lucky Clover. And I'll take a Sporecap Spider as a nice ground blocker over a second Foreboding Fruit, because we definitely need the defense, or we'll get run over. Could even play Prophet of the Peak over the Toonvale Treefolk now, or Return of Nature. And I guess something like this is 23 cards, so hey, we managed to make the deck work. And yeah, maybe we can just throw in like 2 swamps, 2 islands in the deck, and we should be fine. If we're going to be playing 2 islands, though, I don't think we want to play Gingerbread Cabin, because I highly doubt it's going to suffice. I guess with Rosethorn and the Beanstalk Giants, we can maybe just go get away with 1 island, which is possible just for a single splash. Because if you count the Rosethorn Acolyte and the Beanstalk Giant, it also counts as a fixing. So maybe I can see the argument for that. And then just go even split on the other cards. Like, something like this could be fine. Like, even if we play the 1-tap Gingerbread Cabin, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Since it does have upside if we have 3 force, and it can generate a food. And wow, this is 40 cards, okay. So this is kind of the curve. We do have a decent amount of finishers in the deck too, so I'm quite happy about that. Not the most perfect deck, since we could have used some golden eggs. And, but we do have a decent amount to, like, do in this deck, like the Cauldron's Familiar. Can at least maybe chump block, drain them. And they can also just sack a food without paying a cost to enable Trail of Crumbs. So, yeah, let's just give this deck a shot. Black-green was definitely the place to be, so let's do this again. Golgari, mid-range. No, it's more like almost not Sultai. And then we'll put Lochmere Serpent as our picture. And we have 13 creatures, so hopefully that's enough to help us out. So we'll give this a spin. See if we can make the opponent discard 4 with the Lucky Clover. I guess I could also slightly favor green since I do need the green to cast the Beanstalk Giants in the first place and the Acolyte. And if I'm able to get the green, because the Beanstalk Giant and the and the Acolyte can fix for black already, so they actually count as black sources in the deck. So let's see, let me do a recount here. Yeah, I do have double black for bacon to a pie, so 8, so 9 black sources. So I guess we can always go 7, 8, 9 would make sense. 7, 8 plus 9 plus the Beanstalk Giant. So yeah, I guess I can see an argument cutting the forest and going 9 forests, 7 swamps, and 1 island. So that just improves my ability to draw green early to get the Beanstalk Giant out to help me fix. So this seems fun. Alright, is it really going to take this long to find me a game? Really? Okay, finally. At least it wasn't the 2-minute mark. And then, let's see, opening hand, well, Lucky Clover. Well, if I can Lucky Clover in a Beanstalk Giant, find my black and blue mana, that's kind of fun, so let's try this out. Lucky Clover in the opening hand's always kind of scary. And it's just really nice, especially if we can top deck into like a Reaper of Night to make them discard 4, it's more insane. So let's give this a shot, and hopefully we can get our 3rd land. And if I do find Swamp, I'll still get a 2nd Swamp because I do have Bacon to Pie in the deck. Okay, alright, let's get this show on the road. Hopefully we can finally find a green land. I guess I can also use Rosethorn's Acolyte ability and copy it, and then get an extra mana, so that I guess I don't really need a land. I can just use this with the Lucky Clover, and that's quite fun, so yeah, let's just do that. And we'll just use green anyways. I could cast it, but I think Beanstalk Giant is safer. Just get the adventure going right away. Fine, I guess black. And then find blue. And then eventually we're just going to cast Lochmere Serpent. Wow. 4 mana, Jesus Christ. Well, now that fixed our land problem. I can also just play out Wicked Guardian and kill my Cauldron Familiar next turn, since I can always get him back. Like, I could have also just played out Rosethorn, but I think this was more ramp and a way to kind of thin out our deck, so to speak. Alright, yeah, I mean, he could end up countering this. He could also have a Fairy Vandal to flash in to deal with me, but maybe I'm still fine playing out the Rosethorn Acolyte, since I can flash in a Serpent end of turn. I'm hoping he just doesn't counter this, because there's always the 3 mana spell that can just counter things. Whatchamacallit, the creature, yeah, Mystical Dispute. Okay, at least it was a Mystical Dispute, and it wasn't something else. So I guess I'll stay back, because he could always give a ground creature haste, and I might need a 1/1 to block it. I mean, I guess he would have used that in the Wicked Guardian anyways, so I guess we baited it out, so to speak, and we are running 17 lands. Ember Paladin, for adamant. I could just trade here, or take 5, or chump. Maybe I just take it because I can always fight this if I can't do anything else next turn. I don't know. I guess we just take it. Hopefully we don't take too much damage from junk like this. I guess I can always attack for 1 and then use the Wicked Guardian or fight. Maybe I'm fine attacking for 1 using the Wicked Guardian, so I can ensure I hit my land drop. And hopefully I can trade for this 5-2. Bacon 2 pie, okay. Alright, I'm hoping this trades so I don't take too much damage, because 11 is a lot. I can always flash in a Lockmere Serpent eventually to ambush something, so that can be kind of fun. Hopefully he has no way to enhance his toughness, because I'm fine with this trade again. So like a blue-red aggro deck, kind of funny. Usually that's the archetype where you play the controlling draw your cards, your second cards matter archetype. Alright, I guess we're just gonna take 6 down to 10 and hopefully we don't take a million again. I guess I'll have to epic downfall this, unfortunately, if I can't find a way to deal with it, but it is what it is. So. It's what I get for being greedy. For Boding Fruit, but I think it's just epic downfall. Can't risk not drawing a swamp here. Hopefully he just doesn't throw another haste creature at me. Which he could easily do so right now with the Crystal Slipper. Hopefully he's not a flyer as well. I mean, we only have 5 lands this entire game. I need more lands, please. Okay, just passes the turn. Alright, Marrowleaf Rider could be okay. Yeah, let's play out the Marrowleaf Rider. Guess I'm forced to draw cards here. Even though I'm taking damage, I need to draw cards to hit my lands. Play land and say go. And then eventually I should be able to maybe stabilize against this opponent. Does he really not have anything? Wow. That must be very unfortunate. Scavengers, give it. I guess he can't really give it haste. He does offset my tempo. I can splash in a Lockmere Serpent and ambush this, which I will, so we'll say go. Hopefully no counterspell, so we'll see. But he's going to be a little bit suspicious here. I think I'm still fine. If he's gonna, he might equip the dummy to essentially just diversify, and we'll see what he does here. And then when he attacks, I'm hoping he doesn't counter my Lockmere Serpent, because I need this to essentially just hold off this ground army. Fine blocking the 4/5, forcing him to pump the Jousting Dummy. What is this? A bounce spell? I mean, at least he's forced to bounce his creature back. I guess I'm just dead if I don't end up killing one of these. So if I play the Beanstalk Giant, I'm dead, so I do need to play 2 blockers here. I guess I can always fight one. So let's see. We can always play out the Sporecap Spider. I guess I can't really fight one. So I'm forced to maybe chump and block the other creature. Which I think I'm fine with doing, so let's do that. Outmuscle doesn't really accomplish anything. I guess I can take out the 2/1 with the Outmuscle. But I might be happier just playing out the Marrowleaf Rider and playing out Skewer to set up something, so let's try this instead and hopefully he doesn't top deck anything too relevant. I can chump here, block the 2/1. Vice versa. Okay, Rimrock Knight giving it haste. I guess I'm still alive, I can still block one of these. I'm still down to 1 if he decides to attack, so yeah, I guess the blocks are going to be like this and then like this, and I'll fall to 1, and then hopefully I can maybe gain some life next turn, or at least kill one of these and not take a million. Bake into a pie could also be nice, I guess. Yeah, this is not looking good for me. I guess I'm forced to outmuscle the 2-1, or at least play out the Beanstalk Giant, and hopefully he doesn't draw anything. What's this? Whenever it deals combat damage, it has to be combat damage, and then it has to generate a food. Yeah, this isn't looking great. If he has one more haste creature, I'm just dead. So I don't know what I should do here. Maybe I should just fight this to be safe. I guess I can always pump and fight, which could be reasonable. But at the same time, it's essentially just playing out Beanstalk Giant, so not sure here. This isn't looking good. Guess I'll just get the Beanstalk Giant out and pray that he doesn't have anything. Since I'm almost stabilizing, I just need to maybe fire off a food, and hopefully this doesn't top deck a creature off the top, or find a removal spell or something. Alright, just passes the turn, okay. So I could potentially just fight here, or flash in the Lockmere Serpent. Lots of options. Could also just profit the peak and find my black mana. I can always flash in Serpent and stack my swamp. I think I'm fine playing out the profit here, just play more of these curve toppers to stabilize the ground, and then find my second black to enable Bake into a Pie, hopefully. Wow, Mystical Dispute. Okay, so... Okay, alright, I'm getting owned by Mystical Dispute. Please no creature, please no playables, just pass the turn. Did I just throw the game? I could have fought maybe one of them just to be safe, but yeah, this is bad for me. He might just equip here just for the hell of it. Guess I'll just block this when he attacks, and he might just have a pump trick maybe. I mean, he would have played a Rimrock Knight, right, if he went for this sort of play, so I might as well fight the 5/5 next turn. I can Reaper him, that's kind of funny too. But, yeah, I guess I'll just fight this just to be safe. Please don't have anything. Alright, thank you very much. I'll equip this to the Spore Cap Spider, so if he ever decides to attack, I can just gain food. So yeah, I just need my second black source, please, game. I used the Beanstalk Giant to find one already, so I just need a second one to gain life and survive and hopefully kill him. Okay. I guess I'm blocking the Beanstalk Giant here. Or double blocking. Okay, that's not going to do it. Alright, guess I'll just stay back and attempt to flash in my Lockmere Serpent in the turn. Might even sacrifice my swamp at that point. My island, I mean. I guess I can always bring back Lockmere Serpent because there's a lot of creatures in this yard. So I'm just going to flash in Lockmere Serpent, and then if he tries to give his creature haste, I'm just going to block it as well, so we'll see. I'm hoping he actually attacks here. Alright, he goes for it, so yep. I think the opponent forgot about this. And yeah, this is going to be a complete blowout. I guess he's just going to pump the knight, so what I can do is I can just block, make some food. Yeah, I think he forgot about this. And then the blocks are like this, I have to imagine, or maybe I'm fine with this, since I want to swing back for a ton. And I still make a food token here because I get to deal combat damage. Do I stack the food to bring back the familiar? I don't think so. That's 15. I guess I can stack the island as well, just to draw a card and gain some life. Can always flash in the Cauldron Familiar at instant speed. How much damage is this? 15. I guess he's just dead, never mind. 15, yes, he's just dead. Missing double black for a long time, wow. Very close match. If the opponent had a flyer, I'd obviously be dead. Even got Mystical Disputed twice. So pretty much dodged the bullet there. Opening hand is pretty reasonable. I mean, it's not amazing. I don't really have anything to curve out with the Wicked Guardian and Garen Break Carver. But I still have both my colors, so I think I'm tempted to keep here. Hopefully pick up some 3-drops. But yeah, it's all speculative. Blue. Okay, maybe an opt. Okay, maybe he's going to mill me. Right, I mean, wow, mill my Lockmere Serpent, that's funny. Oh, nice. I mean, I can eventually just reanimate this once he has 5 cards in his graveyard, and I have his mana. So interesting to note. At least this has some value. So maybe he's a blue-black mill deck. And we have a Beanstalk Giant so that I can find our blue source. So I'm hoping he just doesn't mill our blue source, and then eventually, hopefully we can just put the Lockmere Serpent back in our hands and recast it. So blue-green deck usually is not a mill deck. It could have mill synergy, but not typically a mill deck. More like a mid-range sort of deck. I don't know why this guy's taking forever. Come on, Diamond rank. Don't be scared of my ranking. He could definitely kill me here if I don't deploy my creatures fast enough in time, so hoping I don't take too much damage here. And I can eventually just get out the Beanstalk Giants. But Trail of Crumbs is nice, okay. I can use this in the late game to find more playables, but I'll take a beating for now. Beanstalk Giant, find my blue source for Lockmere Serpent. Or use it to find a swamp to cast Bake into a Pie. Definitely some interesting options here. I think I'll get the island, since I think I'll eventually get black, since even the Trail of Crumbs can allow me to dig pretty deep to find it, so we'll see. Maybe this guy's drunk, I have no idea. I mean, these cards aren't necessarily the most exciting to be curving out with. So exile 5 cards from his graveyard. As long as 5 end up in his graveyard, I can just put this back. I mean, if he just wants to concede, that's totally fine. Okay, that's a good one. If he plays anything large, I'll just Epic Downfall it, but I definitely need to set up my mana this turn. Although Roadstone Acolyte's probably just better here than the Beanstalk Giant, since it gives me a blocker. It might disincentivize the Overwhelmed Apprentice from attacking. So I think I'm down to play the Roadstone Acolyte as opposed to ramping with the Beanstalk Giant. I'll have 4 mana next turn to actually play out the Wicked Guardian, or use Bake into a Pie as well. Cauldron, that's annoying. Darn, why do you have to get a Cauldron? Why a Cauldron? Why? Okay, I might just die to this opponent then. Yeah, if he keeps doing this, I'm just gonna be dead. I mean, if I get land into land, I can maybe stack a food and stay alive. But this is quite a lot of damage. I'll be taking 5 down to 11 if he attacks with the Roadstone Acolytes. So I definitely need some board presence to stabilize, hopefully. Like a Cauldron Familiar, maybe that's good. It can allow me to block off the 2-1. Although I would need to name black with the Beanstalk Giant, which isn't necessarily the most convenience. So the argument could also just be to sacrifice the food to find mana, or maybe take a beating still. Lots of options. I think I might just be fine playing out the Cauldron Familiar, keeping up the Garenbrick Paladin. And we'll see go. And if he tries to attack me the Rosethorn, maybe I can ambush it with the Garenbrick Paladin. Because I can't afford to take all this damage, and I might as well trade for the 2-1 if he goes for it. Alright, that's a good one. So I'll definitely Epic Downfall that creature. So I'm hoping I get a land. Land off the top, please. I'm hoping he also attacks with the Roadstone Acolytes. And I can get a nice kill here so I can slow down his ramp. Take 3. Return to Nature can kill that, but it doesn't do anything else, so I guess I'm forced to use this. Really missing out my land drops hurt. especially against a deck that's playing a bunch of jank outside of a Rosethorn Acolyte and Lovestruck Beast. I can also just bring back the cat at instant speed, so need to remember that as well. Definitely going to block the Jousting Dummy here. I can also bring the cat end of turn, I guess, and still pay to hit a land drop with my Trail of Crumbs. I guess that could be a reasonable play as well. We'll just see what he does here. I definitely need to kill that, so let's bring back the Cauldron Familiar. Even though I do lose life with this, I mean, I need to essentially just find my land. And then I can maybe bake into a pie the Fierce Witchstalker. I can also use Insatiable Appetite to block it and kill it off and just take 2. That could also be reasonable. Yeah, we'll see. He could play something scarier, so we'll see. Maybe shouldn't have let him untapped. Tomb Raider, okay. I guess the Insatiable Appetite could just work. Like, it still results in the trade. I won't take any trample damage. Or maybe I just kill this anyways. But there's a chance you could have something stronger, so we'll see. Golden Egg. It would be pretty mean to return to nature as Golden Egg. Yeah, I might be down to just use the Appetite here. And just take 2. Alright, we finally... Maybe I just play out the Carver. Can I use the Beanstalk Giant and play anything? Not really. Don't think I need to keep up Bake into a Pie though, so I think I'll just play the Carver out, play land. Say go. And then hopefully get a food token so I don't end up dying to this Tomb Raider. You might just play Keeper of Fables here and draw a card off of the Tomb Raider. That could be pretty annoying, but then I would have a good Bake into a Pie target. I guess I can eventually also just bring back the Lochmere Serpent by exiling 5 from his graveyard as well. Which, that's a strange card. I guess I can kill that with the Return to Nature. Or just kill the Jousting Dummy with the Return to Nature. Wow, this guy's hyper aggro. Yeah, I'll just put this in the yard so I can get back with the Lochmere Serpent. I guess he's gonna stack it, makes sense. Ooh, Gingerbread Cabin, that's a good one. I can always flash in the Cauldron's Familiar, draw a card, and go from there. I could also just use the Beanstalk Giant, find my blue source, and eventually just cast the Lochmere Serpent out of my hand. But maybe I should be careful and just use the food token. Or use Return to Nature on the... I mean, I'm not really scared of Witch's Oven, to be honest. Like, he can make a ton of food, but it's really not that important to me. So maybe I'm fine just sacrificing this and drawing a card. I mean, lots of other options. I think I'll just say go. Does he have a removal spell? Return to Nature, that's pretty cute. Yeah, I guess I'll get value by sacrificing it then, instead of returning the cat, because I definitely need to draw some cards here and not die, so this is okay. I'll take out the Jousting Dummy of the Return to Nature if I have to, block the 1/1. because this guy's playing a pretty jank deck. It's pretty bad, so we'll see what he tries here. He'll try stacking response. We'll have him pass priority. Maybe he's going to stack in response, and then in response, I'm going to stack the. I'm going to return to nature on the jousting dummy here. And hopefully he doesn't kill me that quickly on time. So, yep, there's Fertile Footsteps here. Find my blue mana. Bring back Lockmere Serpent in my hand, or yeah, I guess I'll just bring back Lockmere Serpent in my hand. And, you know, do I stay back? I guess I will, in case he has some random haste dork that he's going to play. Guess he could also have the card that can that can pump him. So maybe I should be careful here. Although I do want to gain out some tempo, but I think it might be important to just be careful. Can always end a turn flash in Lockmere Serpent. I guess he can stack his creature in response to me trying to bake into a pie, so that can be a little bit annoying. So instead, I might want to just return once in future end of turn, bringing back Turn to Nature to take out the Witch's Cauldron. So I think I'm going to do that here. Do I want Trail of Crumbs? It is life, but I might want the Epic Downfall instead. Although, yeah, I guess I want the Epic Downfall instead. I want to return to nature the witch as well, and go from there. So, I guess I can make a food, play a Curious Pair, Gingerbread, make a food, since I have 3 forests. So I think I'll keep the Gingerbread in my hand. Gingerbread oven, I mean. Yeah, I guess I'll make a food first. Like, I could play out the Cauldron Familiar, but this is fine. This way I can curve out with a Curious Pair, and there's no real need for me to hold on to it, other than maybe a potential, a potential other card. Okay, hopefully he doesn't kill my Curious Pair. I'm fine trading for the Marrowleaf Rider. Can play Rosethorn Acolyte the following turn afterwards, hopefully, and hopefully he doesn't die. If he has a removal for this, I might just play out the Cauldron's Familiar, since I don't really want to trade my Rosethorn Acolyte to a Marrowleaf Rider. He might just use removal here. Wow, he'll use removal on a Curious Pair just to get it for 4. That might be hyper aggressive. At least he might have missed a land drop though. So, all right, let's play the Cauldron's Familiar. Hold off the 3/1. Develop the forest. Eventually make enough food. Lucky he didn't Scorching Dragonfire my cat, because getting this exile would be pretty annoying, since I might want this to keep recurring. So please no second Scorching Dragonfire. I can also keep up Insatiable Appetite, I guess, to grow this if he has a removal spell for this as well. 7 Dwarfs, that's fine. Guess he's just gonna make that unblockable, that's okay. Yeah, I might just stack the food end of turn. I guess I'm fine trading with the Marrowleaf Rider. Yeah, let's stack this. Ooh, Lucky Clover. Well, would have been fun if I had it earlier, but I think I'm fine just playing out the Rosethorn Acolytes. Cauldron Familiar can keep the 3/1 back. He could also sack the Ginger Brute to trade for my 2/3, but this is still fine. I'm fine also just double blocking this, although I will lose double black if I need to cast Bacon to a Pie. But might be potentially worth it. Lockmere Serpent, okay, I can flash in a Lockmere Serpent. That's even more fun. I think we'll say go then. And see if this opponent tries anything here. I think I want to just flash in the Lockmere Serpent before he kills my Rosethorn, so we'll see. I mean, good luck trying to kill this. I mean, he could use a removal, but I'll just get it back. He could pump it and get rid of it, I guess. But I do want to just use my blue mana. I could also put Cauldron's Familiar in front of this. Let's say he has a +3/+3. I mean, I can't really imagine him getting past this unless he has something, so. Could have a red cap melee to finish this off. I guess Slaying Fire, okay. I'll eventually get back, so no need to worry. Play out Gingerbread Cabin. I do have a blue source in the deck as well, so we'll just play out the Sporecap Spider. And I can still also, I guess I can play everything out, so this is fine. And I can just play a defensive grindy game against this opponent and we should be okay. So we'll just say go. Once he has five creatures in the yard, I can eventually just exile all of his stuff and bring back the Lockmere Serpent to my hand. So it's just a matter of time. Sure. I'll just take one. Epic Downfall. Not really looking forward to Epic Downfalling any of this, and I still can't even target it anyway, so I think we'll just say go. We'll just keep staying back, take one per turn, with an Insatiable Appetite, which can blow out a Searing Barrage if he tries to use it on my Sporecap Spider. And that was a pretty nice 2-for-1 that the Lockmere Serpent did. Could always double block, but I do lose out on blue mana, so maybe this is fine. And then before damage, I guess I'd rather just... I could pump my Cauldron's Familiar to keep it alive, but I feel more inclined to just use it on my Sporecap Spider. Sure. This will guarantee the kill from the for the 7 dwarves. If I pump it +3/+3, it should be fine, so I'll decline. And then he would need a Searing Barrage to kill this, and no other removal spells can really deal with this, so yeah, we'll just let this happen. And then just one more creature in his yard, and I should be able to bring back the Lockmere Serpent. And we'll pass a turn. I guess he could have a removal spell for this. I'm hoping he doesn't. I can always flash into Cauldron Familiar as well and ambush him. Yep, just take one from the Ginger Brutes. Eventually I'll find an answer to him and go from there. Rimrock Knight, that's annoying. I guess I'll take 3. I can always sack the food whenever I need to gain life, so just gonna take a beating for now. Say go, and we got a Lockmere Serpent anyway, so yep, the blue mana is great. So yeah, I can finally do some blocking, hopefully, with 5 in his yard to eventually reanimate this, recast it again. Could see a Searing Barrage, but he's just going to keep sitting back here with the Ginger Brute. I mean, I can always just gain 3 life, so if he wants to keep pumping it, that's fine. Serkara, darn. I guess I'll exile that before it draws him a million cards. Kiri's Pair is nice, okay. Just gonna keep making more food tokens. And we get to make 2 food tokens as well, so... yeah, good luck beating this. I can always tap black mana to sack a swamp and gain a life and draw a card as well. I'm fine sacking 1 food so I don't end up dying, so this is okay. It shows how Ginger Brute is actually not that great of a card, unless you can really pump it, since it just takes forever to get in all this damage, especially in a format with so much food and life gain. Break Paladin. I don't think that's going to do much. I guess I can always use this on defense, so I guess we'll say go. I mean, I guess I'll block it, unless he wants to make it unblockable. Sure, take another 1 damage. Give him more time to draw into Searing Barrages. Sure. Where's my Trail of Crumbs? There it is. Asking you shall receive. Getting all that value. Yeah, we'll get a Beanstalk Giant, why not? And yeah, we'll just use this to grab a swamp. And another land. Yeah, I'll grab 2 swamps since I already have a forest. And then, yeah, we'll say go. Good luck beating this. I'll just sack the food end of turn and also just draw a card off of this. And eventually we should be able to own this opponent and kill him, so yeah. Bacon to a pie? I mean, I think I'm just going to play out the Beanstalk Giant here, I have to imagine. I can also stack the Cauldron Familiar, and it's bring out the Cauldron Familiar at instant speed, so... yeah, good game, dude. I don't think you can beat me. Guess you can force something to block. Sure. Wow, even once in future to get everything back. Yeah, this deck is officially sick, so... Keep everything up at instant speed, say go. I mean, you can keep making this unblockable, we'll just keep attacking, forcing the chumps, bringing back your Serpent, making more food tokens. So it's pretty much this turn he needs to go all in, I have to imagine. Can't imagine any board wipes in red or green. He could have a Sunring Stroke, I guess. That could be his only way out. Yeah, we'll just say go. And then he would need to block this chump, and then we can bring back the Serpent, make a food token. So I really don't see any way out for this opponent, so... Maybe his only way to win is to essentially just deck himself, so... Yeah, I don't know what the opponent can do here. He's gonna shoot me in the face with a Searing Barrage. I mean, good luck with that. I guess he wants to exile it, and I'll just pump it. I mean, good luck. Jesus Christ. I mean, the game was over the moment Drilla Crumbs came down, I think. So, you know, I'm not against red aggro in this set, but yeah, the Sultai colors I definitely think usually outvalues the aggressive decks in the long run. So... Alright, we can turn one. I guess Cauldron Familiar and Giant Skewer is a cute combo, so I guess this is a fine keep. Fairy Guy Mutter on one. I guess I'm fine making a food on turn one, or maybe just playing the Giant Skewer, equip it onto the cat. Maybe that's fun. I'm hoping he doesn't have a glass casket though, but we do have a Return of Nature to blow up any enchantments. That can be problematic, so. Youthful Knight's pretty annoying. I could always just use Insatiable Appetite to maybe kill this. Since Giant Skewer isn't going to get past this anyways, I think I'm down to use Insatiable Appetite on defense to take out the Youthful Knight. Bit of an issue. Hopefully he doesn't blow me out with, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I should have done it before blocks, so I don't get blown out by an outflank. But if he doesn't do anything here, this is still fine. Merleaf Rider, okay. Yeah, I guess we'll just make a food. Fine, just playing out a Curious pair, I think, and say go. We could also attack for 1. Yeah, let's attack for 1. Opponent's playing mono white, it seems like, so he should have that card that makes a million tokens. I mean, not a million tokens. That can just make a bunch of yeah, that can pump the team. I think I'm fine sending in the Cauldron Familiar. If he wants to outflank it, that's also fine. Big fan of this Wicked Guardian just being able to cantrip. Yeah, he has that card that can make him pump his team. Okay, that's a good one. Do I just make him discard 2? Yeah, this can officially block me out, so pretty interesting cards this turn. Could Reaper him. Like, it's not unreasonable, but I also just want to hit my land drop, so maybe I just use Foreboding Fruit here. And I guess I also have a pump trick now with the Garenbray Carver, so I like that. We'll just say go. So you can pump this into, what, a 3-4? So I could make him do that, and then I can use the Garenbray Carver to pump. Although, if this is a 3-4, it's not going to be great. So, let's think here. So, if this becomes a 3-4 and I pump this, what happens? I guess I might as well go for the Wicked Guardian block here. I can also double block to see what's up. Or maybe triple block this. I mean, I could double block this. Maybe force him to pump and then pump my Wicked Guardian. I guess that can be reasonable. He passes priority. Okay, so no idea. Maybe that was a wrong play, but because he could, if I block here and I pump, he could easily just use the pump ability, and this won't kill it. So I guess this is okay. Hopefully no outflank. But even if he does use outflank, I guess I can always just make him discard. I mean, this is totally fine as well. Results in the trade, gets rid of Double Striker. Okay, I can make him discard his 2 final cards and eventually just bake into pie the Absolution. So this is okay. Yeah, this is pretty brutal, making him discard. That's cute, there you go. Well, main discard is Stonecoil Serpent, although my Return of Nature could have answered it anyways. At least if this isn't pro-black, imagine if this was pro-black, how stupid this card would be, given how powerful black is already in this set, so I think we just kill it now. Could attack with a Curious Parrot, makes a more incentivized attack with the Beloved Princess as well. This is fine. But Baking the Pie is just too good. Such a mythic common in the set. I guess I can always do this. I can always equip the Giant Skewer and then force the Beloved Princess to block and make food tokens, so now I can try this. It's pretty cute. And I can just keep generating foods off of this combo. Pretty cute combo, but... And I don't think there's any haste creatures in white, so I think we can attack with all. And then this forces a block, and I can make a food token as well. So pretty cute combo. And then we can keep looping this over and over again. I guess he would need like a 1 toughness creature like the Fairy Guy Mutter to stay around. Alright, I have a Return to Nature to answer that. I'll just play a Carver. I don't even know why I'm main phasing this. I think I won already. There's no doubt about it. Probably gonna stack a food end of turn to gain some life. Yo, I can't really imagine a mono white deck just getting me down to 8 life in this turn, so yeah, he's essentially just dead. I think the mono white is definitely the weakest. Mono black at least has a Yara, Locthwain Paladin. Mono blue is also pretty bad, but at least they have like card advantage and like the 4-mana 3/3 flyer. Red Adamant's obviously the best with cards like Searing Barrage. And I guess the Ember of Paladin with haste. Green has Outmuscle once in future. So yeah, I think white could be the worst one, but I guess they also have the Silver Flame Ritual that pumps the whole team that I was talking about the last game. But you don't even care about using Vigilance. I mean, getting Adamant with that card, but since you're still pumping your whole team even if you're not gaining Vigilance, so... Pretty interesting card to note.